What up, world? It's your boy Mark Walter War, Super Facts Show, Super Facts Network. Today we got with us a very, very special guest. You know, he's got over 100 million streams on multiple songs. Worked with Meghan Trainor, made rap songs with famous country musicians. But you know, bro, I ain't gonna lie. What I'm most interested in is this community fridge thing you're doing in Miami. Can you tell me about that?
Oh yeah, I do. I partner. I got an art gallery and a studio in Little Haiti in Miami called the Lunchbox, and I came up all around Miami. So anytime I'm in like whatever I'm at, I like to give back. I'm big on giving back, because I just feel like it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? You gotta bless people. So I linked up with Miami Community Fridge and Buddy System Miami, and they do these community fridges all around the city in certain neighborhoods that a little more food scarcities and shit. So I put a fridge in front of my. I deal with a lot of artists in the city too. We had Manuel do the first one, and the mural on the one I launched yesterday was Art Love Trap, and we put a fridge in front of there, build a structure, put a fridge, a refurbished fridge, and we just get people to drop by and put, people throw away a lot of food, other people might be able to eat. So bring your canned goods and stuff like that. And people bring like ready-made meals, vegetables, and we just pack it in there for the neighborhood and people come by and take it for free. It really costs us nothing and it's just a good deed. So it's something I love doing. I really want to open more of them, but I did one in front of my gallery.
Shit, if you ever try and open one in Tampa, I would love to be involved. I'm big into things like that. We got like a community garden in this neighborhood I live in, and I ain't gonna lie, it's a mag ass motherfucking neighborhood, but they come together there, and it's
Absolutely.
giving out vegetables and all that type shit.
Yeah, giving back everybody, can get on one accord with that besides all the bullshit. So I fuck with that. Yeah, my boy hit me. One of my boys from Boston was in my DM the other day. My boy Irv, he hit me like, man, I want to do it. So it's good. Other people like you said been hitting me from other places. So I'm with it. I love doing shit like that.
I mean, hopefully you can expand it because outside of like the obvious demons of the last 400 years, one of the biggest problems in the black community is the lack of green zones. Like the only place to get food is like Dollar General and shit like that, and
Absolutely.
motherfuckers need nutrition.
Yeah, good
Real
nutrition.
nutrition.
Yeah, then real nutrition keep that disease away, keep that blood sugar down, and real nutrition, good foods, healthy foods, superfoods. So I'm big on that. I go to a lot of places with a lot of people who doing a lot of shit and they waste a lot of shit, sitting at tables getting these big meals and putting them away. So I'll be like, man, just pack that shit up, put it in the fridge.
Bro, you ever seen that, man? I saw this picture that geeked me the fuck out. It showed like how a McDonald's hamburger and fries looked, I don't know when, like on some black and white photo days, right? And the
Yeah.
motherfucking hamburger was like the biggest one you can get. It was like this big and shit. And,
Yeah.
and then it showed like the supersized one at the time, and it was like that big. You
Like
know what I mean?
Mondo burger.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
bullshit.
that shit'll kill you.
Man, you ain't never lie. Shit tastes
Yeah.
good. Though.
That shit
Shit
do.
tastes good.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna cap. We can't shit on McDonald's too much. Growing up, that dollar menu did something, but after a while, you get a little older. You gotta keep that a little down. You know what I'm saying? Keep that shit off you.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be the first time I ever did this, and this because you had such a spectacular one. And so this is your Spotify top five. I don't know how they determine it, but you got Bills, you got make that cake featuring
Mhm.
Doja Cat. My fault. I got these ring lights and these sunglasses. My eyes be
Mhm.
watering like shit if I wear the sunglasses.
It's all.
Ocean feature Meghan Trainor.
Mhm.
Whip featuring Chloe Angeletti's, and I
Mhm.
Love Me feature Meghan Trainor.
Mhm.
So if you had to take out one of those five songs and replace it with another one, which would it be? And it would be no insult to any of the artists on the collaboration.
Um,
To give you time to think, me personally, I love the first song on the Quarantine EP. I listen to that over and over.
oh, go to God. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I love Whip It. It was a record that I wasn't like I loved it, and it did well. It went, multi-platinum and gold in a lot of countries, but it's not one of my favorite records that I've done.
I know what you
But
mean.
it did really well. But I would replace it either with Go to God or a song off the songs in the Quarantine EP. I might replace it with Cheat. I might replace it with Heaven on Earth for me and Ty. I feel like I got records that mean more to me personally, but sometimes the songs you love, other people love more than the ones that come out. But personally, I think I would replace that one. Even though that shit is still a bop. I go to Heat games and hear that shit all the time and shit. It's just like there's a couple songs that's more near and dear to my heart.
Oh, yeah, you be going to Heat games?
Yeah, I love the Heat. I'm a Florida fan. Anything in Florida, Panthers, Heat, Marlins. I got the original Florida. We don't do the old logo. Keep it classic. But yeah, I love any Florida sports. I'm Miami all day.
You think that he gonna win the chip this year?
Man, we number one in the seed, man. We tough in the East. I don't know. I mean, I love our team. I'm glad we got Kyle. We got a real point guard, take some of that pressure off Jimmy. So, I hope so. I hope that we looking good in the East. It's gonna be a fight.
See, that's the thing. I feel like if y'all get out the East, I don't think no team in the West could fuck with y'all.
Nah, they just
Because it ain't gonna be the bubble Lakers. LeBron
nah,
2 years older. And
yeah, LeBron looking, and I love Bron. I don't want to, shit, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm a Heat fan. Shit looking crazy. And he knows his best years is over here with us anyway. So, you know what I'm saying?
and then if Utah make it, I mean, no disrespect to Rudy Gobert, but I just got the Heat just straight punking his ass.
Yeah, we punking there. We too good. We gangster right now. We up. It's up.
So, I got a few things for you, but this might warm your heart. My wife wasn't hip to you. My kids were though. So my wife has been nonstop singing bills, and she's a public school teacher, right? So she got a gaming chair like the one I'm sitting in her classroom, and it's got like speakers and shit.
Yeah.
So before people got there, she was playing bills, and a bunch of teachers gathered around. They never heard it, and they're all like dancing and shit. And we're talking like,
hold on, my bad. Todd, I'm in this live interview. 1 second. Yeah.
And we're talking like 60-year-old ladies, 45-year-old Asian man, younger people.
Yeah.
And then the kids start coming in, and they're all like, "Miss, how do you know this song? You know this song?" and then she was like, "My husband about to do a podcast with him, and they ain't believe her." And then she had to like show some of the more tame podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I get that a lot. Like a lot of, I still feel like some of my songs is bigger than me. Like a lot of people know my records sometimes, and they don't know me. And some, I make very like.
You're right. My son didn't know your name, but he knew your song from TikTok.
Yeah, I'm kind of cool with that. At times, I mean, most of the time, I'm really cool with that because I feel like the music kind of keep me around and everybody, and it's still like a discovery thing. But yeah, like I make a lot of like organic, real feel good, funky, soulful. That you can play with everybody, with your kids and your mom and grandma shit. So I always get a lot of younger demographic and older that like jamming to it. So and I like that the kids put their parents onto it. That's fly to me. I fuck with that.
Bro, I mean, you done made me look good. This is the first time I ever did an episode with someone that my kids have listened to their music.
Damn, that's dope. I'm glad. I'm happy that's happening. I get that. People hit me all the time. My kids love your music. It's so I could enjoy it with them, especially my song Mama, which is like one song I dedicated to my mom. And a lot of kids really use that for Mother's Day, and they jam it with their moms, and their moms enjoy it too. The older ladies, they always hitting me. I get my shit packed with I get the 40-year-old moms all day.
So I mean, in a way that means like you kind of run like I don't like labels and genres, but there is somewhat such a thing of genres. But people, I think it's intellectually lazy to try to put everything in a box. That being said, you've clearly been influenced by a bunch of genres. And before I say what I'm about to say, do you know who DJ AM is, and are you familiar with his work?
Of course, I know who AM is. That's the open format king.
Do you know who you remind me of with your quote unquote genre blending? You remind me of a DJ AM who creates original music and can rap.
Oh man, that's an honor to even talk about. AM is that he a legend. AM is that nigga.
Anyone who ain't familiar, go on SoundCloud, look up DJ AM. There's at least 10 of his sets, and you ain't never heard nothing like it. This motherfucker could mix Pavarotti, Megan Thee Stallion, and Led Zeppelin on one.
Led Zeppelin and
make it sound perfect.
Perfectly. Like AM was like the king of that open format. I feel like he popularized what the club is now at that point now, where a lot of people play multi-genres in big rooms. He was like always playing. I think he got a boiler room, so I don't think he do, but I always listen to AM mixes because he just had that ear with them blends and shit.
Oh, I love him, bro. I still listen to him. Like that's the best house cleaning shit. But like that's what I'm saying. Like he was technological. Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're the spiritual musical continuation of it. Because like obviously he was a creative, because you couldn't even have done that without being creative. Absolutely. And I'm not trying to say anything bad about him. I have nothing but respect for him. But he wasn't making original music.
Yeah, he was blending timeless shit with with current shit, with disco shit, with rap shit, with jazz shit on top of like salsa shit. You know, you never knew what you was gonna get and shit. I mean,
And
I
you and
think
that's
that's
what you and to me that's what you do.
yeah, I think that's like even AM probably like I listen to a lot of music, you know, like I'm very like I'm a nerd, man. I'm like a real like head, you know. So it's like growing up, even from my music inspiration from my pops and uncle, just reggae around me. I started not listening to American music at first. So I listened to I was with my
Hey,
boy.
not to interrupt you. What do you mean by reggae though? Are you talking like dance hall? Are you talking like
No, I'm
Desmond Decker
talking
and
about
Bobby Marley and shit?
culture, you know,
Gotcha.
one drop roots reggae, you know what I'm saying? Like that was my first introduction, you know, especially like Jacob Miller, Bob, Peter Tosh,
Yeah,
like real culture foundation shit.
I got all them records back there, bro. I'm
Yeah,
well
I
hip.
see. That's why I'm looking at you all Black Uru, Michael Rose, like I grew up like, like stuff like that. So that was like my first real introduction. And then growing up in Miami too. That's why, I was growing up listening to rap too, growing up listening to Trick, listening to, early, being put on to Luke and then, 90s rap and having to like kind of like, my pops playing jazz and playing soul music, so it's like when I make music, I kind of like approach it like that. I take like kind of like from it depends on what I'm on, but I kind of pride myself in not sticking it. That's why I got like a song with Meghan Trainor and a song with Meghan Trainor, Doja Cat, One Direction, Yo Gotti, Youngster. I have like a full. I don't really try to like be like, oh, I only can do this, because I lived a lot of lives, so I try to like figure out how to like make it digestible and everything, but keep him, mostly my, lunch money shit really just fun. I try to have fun. It's too fucked up out here to make sad music. So I try to like make as much like make it as exciting as possible type shit.
No bullshit. They damn sure can't box you in. When I was looking at the Spotify jump, because I told you earlier, for those who don't know, I got familiar with Lunch from a very top flight publicist, and since I write for a rap site, I only got the rap songs, so I was unaware of some of the joints. So like,
Yeah.
how did the contribution, the collaboration with I hope I don't say his name wrong. Is it Tim Bassett?
Tim Bassett.
It's a country song, and you rap
Oh,
on it.
Thomas Rhett.
Thomas Rhett. There you go, Thomas Rhett.
Yeah, Thomas Rhett
I'm
was
sorry, Thomas Rhett. That song was great though, Thomas Rhett. But how did that come about?
Thomas, to me and Thomas's record was one of the producers he was working with, my boy Joe London. Thomas was a fan of my music, and Joe was collabed on some production shit on some. So he asked me like, "Yo, Thomas wants you to get on this song." And now when I listen to the record, it kind of had my flavor. Just I got paid. It's like more about a song, about I feel good today. And so he just asked me, "You want to get on it?" So I was like, "Yeah, I'm down to get on it." And it just kind of came together like that.
It came out good. I
Yeah, love
definitely
that
rock with
record.
it.
I get a lot of love when me and Thomas we did that up. I wish we could. When he did the video, I wasn't able to be a part of it, but I wish I would. But now I fuck with Thomas heavy. He good dude too.
So
I fuck with country music.
yeah, I do too. Shit. When I went to prison, I went to this work release camp, right? And
Yeah.
this dude had this Sirius XM jump, like way back when you used to take him out the car and slide him in the thing and shit.
Yeah.
And his cool ass would let us listen to rap on Friday. But he like old school country, like real old school, like Hank
Yeah.
Williams and Johnny Cash, where they be
Johnny
telling
Cash,
stories
Kenny
about like
Rogers.
yeah, and they be telling like stories about killing people and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I ain't
Country's
gonna
gangster
front.
shit.
Yeah, some of that shit was dope as shit. So
Yeah.
I like country music too. I ain't ashamed to say it.
No sir.
So another thing I noticed in going through, and then your Spotify and recently you got a feature on Ray Burner's album and your work with Lil So. People who cop a feature from you, they sure get a bang for their buck. Like you ain't half-assed one fucking song.
Yeah. Nah, I try to go in. I mean, Jay, my dog, he's from the crib and we both from round the way. So, and I respect Jay Grind. He take his shit seriously, he promote his shit. He a dope dude and a dope artist. I just think Jay and I respect Jay because he be in his own pocket, he hustle his own shit. I love people like that. He just really grinds his stuff. That's why with me it don't even matter, where people see how I don't judge when I get on people's stuff by only how big they are. I get on just how serious they take the music. You know what I'm saying? So like he really, even though we both like from the crib and he coming up, but has done collabs with big artists too. He just takes his brand really serious. So it made me just like absolutely. And I signed a couple months ago. Maybe it's not even been a year. and we just been working on her stuff and finishing her new tape and finishing her tape. Her first mixtape dropping next year, and we just dropped 2 records. We got one coming December 3rd, and we just been working, man. So's like a, you know, she just like a force, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, nah, she dope as shit, bro. After we did our show, she dropped a song like 2 days later, and I hardly ever hit DM people, especially girls, because you know
Yeah, yeah.
I'm married and the
Of course.
proprietariness of that. But
Yeah.
I had to tell her like, yo, you got it. You're gonna make it.
Yeah, yeah. So's gonna go up, and it's her just determination. She a hustler. Like, you know, when I met So, she had shit going on. She always been the most popular girl in her hood, and like always in Palm Beach. Like she a real, you know, she a real one. Like it's real.
Yeah.
Her story, her whole shit. So she's just like a 100 person. I watched your interview with her too. She's just like So's just special. So she a hustler herself. Her determination alone, just like she at the studio on time. She ready to work. She got her rap. She coming up with ideas. She like, you know. So that's what I be looking for when I work with artists too, on the like a producer writer level. Like, how serious do you take this shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and she got that intangible it factor. There's something just
Yeah.
magnetic about her. You know,
Yeah, she just got that.
outside of being attractive, like listening to her speak and all that.
Exactly. Yeah. When you hear a story, she like a real one. You know, she not just like a, you know, a pretty girl with raps. You know, she got a real story, which I like because people could relate to that. You know, her dad being away for most of her life and everything she's been through, and you know, her kid and that. She just, you know, real life shit.
Yeah, she's a strong woman. Shout out Lil So.
Facts.
Since we talking about female rappers, you know, my only complaint about you as a fan is even if it was a freestyle somewhere, I wish there was a lunchbox. There I go, fucking up. A LunchMoney Lewis,
Yeah, so little nigga.
a LunchMoney Lewis verse on a Trina Them Girls instrumental.
Oh, yeah, that Trinity them girls. I don't even think I did like a scratch verse on that. That one was like some shit. That was like we was working on Nicki shit. That was like 2014.
14, yeah.
Yeah, like we was like Nicki was like brought a couple of us in and just to like come up with ideas like little hooks and shit. And I remember that was like before bills. I was like when I had just because when I came out, it wasn't no Spotify or nothing. You know,
Right.
I made bills and it floated around the music industry and everybody wanted to sign me. So that was just around that time, like kind of still a little bit old school, like where people would hear your music and want to sign you, not
Right.
like how much numbers you got and shit. So I just basically got signed off, like I guess you would say, just records, like talent, you know, like so I didn't have like no nothing. I had like I was buzzing at home, like I've been a local artist in Miami, but that was like the first time it was like on some every record company, blah 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 bullshit. And then yeah, I did that in like I did that hook in the lounge of Conway, this studio in LA. We was like in a small ass room. And I was just thinking, like, man, I'm Jamaican. So I was like, I'm gonna do some Caribbean shit for Nicki because I know everybody gonna try to give her hooks and vibes. That's like what she always do. So I was like, I'm gonna do some Caribbean shit. And that song took like a year. I was the last song on Pinkprint. They hit us like right before us. And Nick a real one because she kept me on it. She was like, yo, who was that on that song? Like he was like, I'm gonna keep him on the hook. I was like, shit, all right. I was like, I'm with it, you know, cause you know I fuck with Nick and she gave me that spotlight. I'm always like loyal to her because of that, cause she didn't really have to do that, you know.
Now you're
So
right, because I'm not saying you didn't contribute to the song, but like the amount of your contribution that would be apparent to the listener, oftentimes the artist doesn't credit a person.
yeah, she credited me, she promoted me with it, you know. She knew I was coming. She knew behind the scenes too that I had some shit like I was about to come. I think she asked like, is he signed? Like I think she wanted to try to kind of rock with me too, but I had already like committed to somebody. So but I mean, shout out to Nick a real one.
Did you ever see Secret Life of Pets too?
Hell yeah.
Which
That's my
one's better?
I like both of them. I like both of them. I ain't gonna lie. The first one is like classic, but I like both of them. You know, I did the closing title on the second one. That was big for me because I mean I love Pixar and animated movies. I'm a kid, man. Like I love the movie, so it's like I've always wanted to do a like
Yeah,
closing title song
yeah,
to the
me too.
movie. Yeah,
I'm a kid like a motherfucker. You see this
bro,
shit?
that's crazy.
That's Mystique turning into Wolverine.
Damn, bro, your bobblehead collection crazy.
Oh, these is Funkos. I don't like when they be bobbleheads. They be knocking over most of the time. Most of them ain't bobbleheads. That's when
Oh
Wu.
shit.
That's when Wu from Chung. Oh, he's a bobblehead too. The
Yeah,
Marvel shits be bobbleheads, but
that shit crazy.
they knock over. Man, them shits be holding value.
Yeah, I
Like
love it.
like this shit right here costs $10, right? And I got an eBay account, and it's $10 on Amazon, right? But on eBay, motherfuckers are selling the empty box for 15.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
$15?
yeah.
Damn. So that shit gotta probably hold that bitch for a couple years, huh?
Oh, now I'm gonna justify the purchase by selling the box at a profit.
Yeah, see my boy trapping them figurines.
Oh, now that's to keep wifey from getting mad at me spending all the money on the fucking Funkos.
Yeah, them
Like you
shits.
can't say nothing if it's bringing in money, right?
It's bringing in some money. My boy be doing it with the baseball cards and shit. But yeah, that shit was like, I always wanted to like go in the movie theater and like, as a kid, you know, the closing titles was the shit. The movie ending that big moment, you know what I'm saying? So that was like bucket list shit right there.
Now I feel you, bro, because I'm a nerd too, man. I used to like how they like on Pixar how that was like the little drawing of the story. So it's almost like you're reading like a children's book of the movie you just saw.
Of the movie, yeah, and it did bring that emotion out you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like movies without music ain't really nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like even Home Alone, it's like it's the score. So like at the end when I, catching that was like a vibe. That was like bucket list. I went to the theater and watched that shit. I had to.
Do you have any interest in scoring a film?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. My sister has a short that she just did, and I'm doing all the music for her right now. It's an indie short she did, and I'm doing the music. And yeah, I'm down. I've had records in movies and stuff, but I'm definitely one day I'm gonna sit down and try to like sit behind the whole one and like do all the music and all the as far as like soundtrack shit. I love that shit. But I want to do it for like animation, like a kid movie or something.
Yeah, should that be dope? When your sister's joint comes out, let me know. I'll make sure to post it and scream from the rooftops.
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you. She wavy.
I'm sure. So another thing about you, musically, you got a unique style, but you got a unique fashion sense as well. So I'm curious, what are some of the places you like to shop at?
Oh man, bro, I be thrifting a lot. My boy, one of my boys,
Me too.
I like wearing a lot of my homie shit. Like I love streetwear. Like I like designer pieces. Like I like to accessorize with designer shit. But I'm really into streetwear, bro. I like old shirts that mean shit. Like one of my boys, Safe, in Miami, there's a store called Shoe Gallery, which is like our classic shoe store. I've been shopping there since I was like 14 years old, 13 maybe. Shout out to Danny and them and my boy Safe, who's my two lines, my boy Plus Givens, he has a line down here named Trees and Specials. And my boy Safe has a line called Mi Gente. And my boy Safe is like a classic sneakerhead collectible item. He collects like vintage t-shirts and he always found my size. I'm a big dude, but I just buy a lot of shit from him. And then I like to mix. I mix shit like, my fashion sense, I think like my personality. I just be like right now I got like on like a cutoff with some, some denims and like some comfortable Yeezy. You know what I'm saying? I just like I don't like, I don't get too bougie, but I like dressing up too. I like a good suit, I like it depends on the vibe, but I ain't like, you know, I ain't ASAP Rocky with it, but I like to keep it like I like timeless garments. I still love polo, you know what I'm saying? I like shit that just don't go out of style. Oh shit. My bad. I'm actually in the studio, shit like that be happening.
It's all good, man. ESPN podcast be having motherfucking fire
Yeah,
engines, dogs barking. I figure as long as I'm doing as good as ESPN, I'm all right.
Yeah, we good. This real life shit. But I like classic shit, bro. I like top. That's why even with this, like the Florida hat, it's just like stuff that I could wear this when I'm 50,
Now I
Like,
feel you, bro. It took me a long time to warm up to this new Wizards logo.
yeah. Oh man, that's the new one?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that's the new Wizards logo.
Maybe like
Oh,
3-4
shit.
years ago. Like last year, John Wall was there. I think it was the first year they started using it.
Yeah, I don't like these new logos, like the new Florida Marlins logo and all that shit. It's just like whack. I can't like, and I love the I love it. I like the classic. Bro, I'm a real Heat fan. I like Dan Marley, Ronnie Cycli. I'm like I was a little kid like in
Sherman Douglas and shit, huh?
Sherman Douglas, yeah, you feel me? Tim Hardaway, Zoe. You know what I'm saying? Like when motherfucking Antoine Walker was playing for the Heat, like back in the I like real. So I just like classic shit. I was like, yeah, this is classic timeless shit.
Hey, does it ever, it be geeking me out. We talking about Secret Life of Pets, and I got an 8-year-old, and my other kids was watching Nickelodeon and Disney, and like especially being a white dude, liking rap and shit, motherfuckers used to like talk down on me about that shit, and
Yeah.
it's so crazy to me that I see like Nickelodeon and Disney shows, and they're all like, "That's dope, word up." You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
mean,
just using
they be sounding funny when they say it, but just the fact that, they say it, and I used to get looked down on. You know, I had a cop beat me for being a N-word lover when he heard me use quote unquote urban slang, as he put it.
Yeah. That shit's stupid to me because I feel like our hip hop is black music, but it's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is like a living organism. You know what I'm saying? Like I see Asian kids, everybody, that shit real involving. And you know, I be telling everybody like hip hop started, you know, in the Bronx, you know, with Cool Herc, but it hit a metropolis city. You know, it started in the ghetto, but everybody got it. You know, there was Puerto Ricans, Latin quarters. You know, hip hop was like hip hop for everybody. You know, it's like that's why hip hop's about telling your story on beats. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you come from, it's just unapologetic that if you dope or not, you know, it's real judgmental. Like, yo, that nigga whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter where you from. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really like, you know, I think hip hop brings more people together than any other genre of music between rap and reggae. You know, growing up in reggae, I seen a bunch of that's Jewish people at reggae concerts, Asian people. You know, I come from like an involving that genre, so I feel like hip hop's like that. Especially now, hip hop shows like bring all type of motherfuckers together. So it's like, you know, I feel like that's why I think it's here this long. If it was like really to one set of people, it would like die down. You know what I'm saying? I think because everybody fuck with it, like white, black, Asian, you know, Latins, like Latin trap. I think that's what keeps it like moving. We don't want just one set of people to fuck with it, or we gonna die out. Like kind of rock was kind of like that. It was like a specific set of people, you know, but hip hop be taken from all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think early in the game, the media kind of fucked shit up about letting people in. Like Vanilla Ice, for instance. You know, you can say what you want about him, but before Ice Baby came out, do you know what this man was doing?
Yeah, no, I'm not. She from Miami though.
He was torn with Chuck D and Luke.
Yeah, with Luke. Yeah, that's what put him on.
And Chuck D, and they're co-signing him.
Absolutely.
So he's supposedly like a culture vulture, but this dude is going by himself to clubs and winning them over with his dancing abilities and getting co-signed by the greatest revolutionary rapper ever and the biggest Southern rapper at the time.
Absolutely. Look at MC Search, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's a lot of guys who play pivotal parts in hip hop in the beginning. I just think, you know, when people say, you know, it's like, you know, he got really big, you know, of course there's a majority of people. So when, you know, he broke through, it made it like, oh, he getting big. But there's a lot of people, you know, you got Larry Smith who like originated, he did Sucker MCs, you know, he's the one who kind of started a lot of that sound. But you got Rick Rubin, you know, you got a lot of dudes who play. Rick Rubin did, you know, he did all that LL shit, you know what I'm saying? You can't say Rick ain't hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he did a Jingling Baby, you know what I'm saying? He did all that beastie shit. So that's why I like hip hop. Like, if you dope, you dope. There's plenty of white boys. My best friend growing up that I started rapping was white. My boy was Zerk. Shout out Zerk. He's still nice. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You mean back in the MC Crypto days?
Yeah, back in it was Lil Crypto and Berserk. And he's still my boy right now.
Lil Crypto, got you.
Yeah, he was still dropping music, and we used to go around the whole city and bring Zerk to the hood battling niggas, and like he would the nigga would shoot everybody and they'd give him that respect. You know, you gotta earn your shit. That's it. But you know, once you earn that shit, when you that, you know, they'd be like, oh, that's the, you know what I'm saying? So
I mean, like, America try to make you afraid of the black community, bro. I grew up in the black community. I ain't much go to school with too many white people, so I went to a black college. True story. But once you prove that you ain't there for no bullshit, it's welcoming as a motherfucker.
It's love. Come get a plate. Come to things, get that plate.
Yeah, and then if you can do something like ball or rap, motherfuckers will really love you. You know
really
what I mean?
Love you all day. You know, we're very involving. I think black folk are like we're a very communal, villagey type of people. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you come from. And that's what, you know, even with culture, I feel like any culture you go to, if you go in, and like even when I work with a lot of Latin artists, you know, I grew up in Miami and I go into their genre and write with them, you know, I fuck with the real ones. You know, they invite me in. I learn. I love salsa. I love Hector Lavoe and Ismael Rivera and, you know, Willie Colon. I love finding the records, you know, but I have to learn their shit and learn the roots of it. And then they be like, yo, come fuck with us. You know, you got to prove yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm into that, man. I don't do the barrier shit. It's music, you know? Shit, I love Hall & Oates. You can't tell me they ain't got no soul. You know what I'm saying? I love Billy Joel and fucking Michael McDonald, Bobby Caldwell. Them boys sing. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, bro. I got like 3 Hall & Oates jumps back there. I fuck with Hall & Oates too. Hey, on the low, Hall & Oates get sampled like a motherfucker.
All day. I love. That's why I think it's all music, and especially when it comes from like, and a lot of those guys acknowledge like a lot of the black musicians that they looked up to. So, it's love.
No doubt. Hey, do you mind? My daughter want to meet you. Is
Yeah,
that cool?
of course, that's cool.
This is the man who sings the Bill song, Mom.
How you doing?
And he made the last song on Secret Life of Pets too.
Am I cool or am I not cool? Because I'm cool, right?
Cool.
Okay. What's up? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm chilling. You got a cool daddy.
Oh yeah, I do.
Facts.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, babe.
That's dope, bro. Kids are the best. I ain't got none yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Well, my advice, a lot of people be scared before they have kids. And my attitude in life, I look at anything that I want to be successful at, and I find some stupid motherfucker that's successful at it. And there's always a stupid motherfucker that's successful at everything. And I'm like, if that dumb motherfucker can do it, I'm gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be good. Facts. That's one thing I'm nervous about. I ain't nervous, but I guess it's normal.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have the thing when they're first born. They're so tiny, you're afraid you're gonna hurt them holding them and shit. It'd be a little different for a father, Yeah,
I'll be a little, but I'm, that's the next venture.
The next personal venture. What's the next music venture? I know you're sitting on something.
Man, I got a song coming out December the 1st. Me and Trinidad James.
Oh, that's super. What's up?
Yeah, that's a funky one. That's like that's one of my favorite songs I ever did. One, because Trinidad just like a real one. And I've always been a fan of Trinidad. I think everybody just know him because of All Gold and everything, but he has a lot of dope music. He's a cultural icon to me. Like Trinidad is like, if you ever sit down with him, all the shows that he does, his fashion sense, his outlook, his perspective on things. So we both live in the same place because Trinidad, he got a place here and we kept running into each other. And during the pandemic, I was making music, while everything was kind of what it was. And I had this song I was sitting on that I knew I wanted to put out. And I, running to Trinidad, I just sent it to him. He sent it right back to me. And he was like, he always hit me like, man, this is a good song to get on. Cause, I was still making like bops during the pandemic. Cause I knew after this, everybody gonna want to dance, everybody gonna want to feel good. People want to enjoy themselves. So I just made like a real bop. I'm excited about it. And then I'm gonna drop the project next year. And, that's all I've been really working on, just finishing the new music and finishing So-So, working on So-So and working on, and still making records for other people and shit.
I got my start in this music shit because basically I got a record. I ain't never getting no real job. And, I came up in the blog days. I used to be drinking dank. And, I'd run into a lot in DC, a lot of those East Coast events. I'd run into those New York bloggers.
Yeah.
And I used to troll the fuck out of them and tell them, my barometer of whether you can understand if music is good or not is if you appreciate 2 Chainz lyricism and Trinidad James musicality. And if you're missing out, if you're missing out on that, then you just don't get it.
You don't know what you're talking about. Because people got to tap in. Like Trinidad is like, if this was the 70s, like Trinidad, I look at it like that. If we did it, jumped in a time machine, there's only a couple of us I feel like that would be revered. You know what I'm saying? Like Trinidad is like, he one of them brothers. We would have been signed to the same little label in Memphis, making our little bops, running to each other, in Detroit at Motown shit, just on a different time period, because his respect for culture and what he know, he just an original brother. I like original people, you know what I'm saying? And just character, So it's like, yeah, and Chainz is a lyrical monster. That's Titty, you know what I'm saying? That's a legend right there.
Yeah, but when he first started blowing up with that True Religion, a lot of the, let's say, the more entrenched New York people were
just not tapped in.
Yeah, like it's simple, it's weak.
I always argue with my East Coast homies because I'm like a head, you know what I'm saying? So I like when I tell people how lyrical Kodak is, like some of the more heads, if they on that type of shit, they ain't gonna understand. But I'm like, y'all leaving out a lot of Southern high level lyricists because you feel like you don't understand. I remember when Wayne was out, like I remember early Wayne and my cousin who really put me on to a lot of shit. He was a DJ when he older and he loved like, early Primo and all of that. And I used to, I was younger, so I used to be like, man, Wayne is nice. And he's be like, man, I don't understand what he's saying. I'm like, you don't understand. He's like the best rapper out. Like Wayne is like delivery, lyrics, and he was only getting better. And then now, look, he inspired a whole generation of culture, music, lyricists, mixtape, like, So I think sometimes when they don't understand, they just judge, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Now I knew about Wayne from the Britty Up, that Hot Boys album that got 5 mics. That's the only reason I went and bought it, because it got
Right.
5 mics. I had never heard of them. And they all had a solo song.
Yeah.
And that little Wayne Lights Off, Creep Silent.
Creep Silent. That was Wayne was always nice. Like even when you go back now and you listen to like early Wayne, like Lights Out album, even the 500 Degrees album, I was on that.
Hell
Everybody got
yeah.
Wayne like Carter too.
He was a cash grubbing, money hungry midnight.
Midnight, and nobody even knew what midnight mean. We was in school calling bitches midnights, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, Cash Money raised us. So like 400 Degrees, BG, all them BG, like, Chopper City albums and shit. Like, and those dudes was lyrical. They super lyrical. Like Juvie was lyrical, you know what I'm saying? His voice, his tone, his delivery. So like I used to argue with all because I listen to, they can't get me with that either. Cause I love all that. I love Wu, I love Nas, I love, I'm a head, man. I was like, I was in the drip, Drew the Damage, all that shit, but actually everything. I listen to everything. So
usually I don't ask this question because this should be played out. I be feeling like this is like just lazy journalism for people who don't want to do the time to do the research. But in your case, I'm actually genuinely interested. Other than So and Ray, who are some of the new artists you listen to, or who are some of the new artists that you're interested in that you haven't worked with? And I'm not saying interested in working with them, just interested in the music.
Like musically, yeah. I'm a fan. I like that Baby Keem album. Like I never really been. I was hip to Keem as like a producer, and like I knew and I heard little things from him before, but I feel like that Keem album was really consistent. It was fresh to me. I always try to look for inspiration. So like when I heard, because I can listen to something and it not really super incorporated into my shit. It could just inspire me to make music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Keem album just felt fresh with the tracks, just with the flows. It was fresher to me, honestly. Like, of course, Drake and Kanye are like, what they are amazing, lifetime artists. But I felt like Keem's album felt fresher to me at that time. And I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, I like a lot of the Florida shit right now, man. I've been listening to, I love what Kodak doing.
Me too.
I love yeah, it's a lot of good shit out, but a lot of things catch my ear. But a couple of things I always forget when I like people ask me, but
that's you like stunt. I fuck with Stunner 4 Vegas hard as a motherfucker.
Yeah, I like Stunner 4. I like Babyface Ray. I like ESTG. I like a lot of the street shit going on. I just like that it went back to like hustlers, like trap shit, like because for a minute it was a lot of like. It wasn't really like the trappers was gone. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really like that hustler motivative rap music.
Right.
That's why, like, when I heard ESTG, I was like, yeah, like, no foolishness. He just trying to get money. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, and I just missed that. I love that Jeezy era. You know what I'm saying? Where niggas was like, the hustlers was winning. It wasn't more about taking the drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, I kind of like that kind of made a.
I feel you, bro. Like I hardly ever say bad shit about people, but I feel like that shit Future did is so irresponsible. Making music about drugs that you don't use.
I mean, Future like one of the GOATs, but I think he inspired, because Future got like such a wide range of music. I mean, I'm a Future fan. Like,
oh no, I'm a fan, and I definitely think he's talented. But when he said he doesn't do none of them drugs, and he's making songs about Xanax, I don't think people understand Xanax is really fucking bad. It's harder to get off of than heroin.
Yeah, opiates and alcohol is the worst.
Benzos are the worst. And trust me.
Them opioids. I had homies who went to rehab for opioids and shit, like a lot of homies. Yeah, that shit really rough. So that's the thing about, hip hop. Like it can influence people when people tell their own stories or try to like, make up things, do things colorful. It can influence.
Bro, I listened to Mobb Deep and went out and started robbing people. So music, and then that's my dumbass fault. I mean, I was like 16, but like, yeah, music can influence people. Yeah. And I'm not trying to glamorize that. That was a big ass mistake.
Nah, absolutely not.
I'm talking. I know but just if I got like a 15-year-old listening, there ain't nothing cool about robbing people.
No, that's the thing about. I almost said that today. I was talking to the homie today, and I was saying that like a lot of artists sometimes, like artists been coming out and saying like, I don't care about your kids. Like I make music, but then it's like, we have a responsibility as artists. You know what I'm saying? We have a responsibility. I remember Phife Dawg was saying that in the interview, like, yeah, I take bitches home from the club like other people. I take, women home from the club. I do this, I do that. But when I make music, that's not what I'm trying to tell kids to do. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm trying to promote. If I'm a promoter, I might as well make them do something, give them some food, some real, something. So it's like, you know, even with me, like my music is very wholesome and happy because that's a part of me too. That's what I want to give the people. That's the side of people that I want them to hear from me. I don't want them to hear things that aren't, you know, that it's just, you know, that's not the energy that I want to put out. So we got to be careful with, like, of stuff like that. And it would be irresponsible of me to just blame Future because I know he probably was inspired by a lot of people who were making different kind of music. But you know, I think as even as Future, I said I've seen interviews where he's like, "Yo, I'm tired of doing certain types of music because you get kind of held into that himself." So I think we all got like a social responsibility to try to put something you know, that's what I miss about, which, you know, I don't want to be the back in the day, but you know, certain things I grew up off of, they gave you a lot of different sides, like love,
Right.
then heartbreak. The streets is this, but it can also be this, like, you know, give, you know, Hove would always put that in his music, and a lot of rappers I listen to always would tell you it was all good just a week ago. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
we need the other side too, not just like sell dope, take drugs, take, like, nah, you could die, you could go to jail, you could die, you know what I'm saying?
You
Give the
probably
whole.
ain't waking up in a Bugatti.
Yeah, you know, don't just tell the first half of the movie blow. Like all of them end the same way. You know what I'm saying? The
Word.
high part, you know, the cars, the boats, the women, you know. But at the end of the day, there's another side to it. So yeah,
Hey, you
I
just
mean,
made
I
me
think
think of something like a motherfucker though. What you were saying about rap, man, that's that you could apply that to R&B. I miss that old school R&B, like that. What's going on in the songs in the key of
yeah,
life? Like
social
everything's just
social
fucking dancing
commentary.
or love. Yeah,
Yeah, social just what's actually going on. But I think the music always reflects society. You know, that's what's going on in our
true.
society. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's going on for real. What they're singing about. You know, a lot of the, you know, more what they'll say toxic R&B and things like. I mean, it is toxic out here, and you know, it's like these are the things. The music is reflecting what's going on. So I see it making a turn, and I think music's actually in a really good place. Like I like that everybody you could kind of tap into whatever energy you want to, you know, being with the internet, you don't have to listen to things. Like I feel like in our day, you kind of like, well, when I was coming up, at least with just the radio pre-internet, you had to kind of listen to what the radio was playing. You know, like now you could kind of love your artist and just vibe, you know, like even Doja, like I've known Doja since 2014, 2015. I always knew she was that dope. I always knew she could sing that well, rap better than most people with delivery, you know, so it's only a matter of time before she like, you know, did what she did. So it's like I tapped into a lot of artists that I felt, and I worked with her early. I worked with her in 2019. So like I always been like a person to try to be ahead of what, like listening for new vibes, like who's the new, you know, what's new out here. You know, I like the Afrobeat shit that's going on too. I kind of like this like it's like a black world music movement before. Before it was like rappers never even worked with UK rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like Dizzy Rap, nobody, it was like but now it's like, you got like Burna Boy on songs with Polo G. It's like this one world music movement that's going on that I kind of fuck with. Like Giggs is on Meek's album, he's on Drake. So, you know, it's like everybody just rocking with each other on some culture shit, you know. So I'm like, I'm kind of with that. Like it's interesting as shit right now, you know.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful thing, bro. Like growing up in the DC area in Northern Virginia, there's a lot of African immigrants, a lot of Ethiopians,
Yeah,
Eritreans, Ghanaians,
Eritreans and
Nigerians,
shit.
and
Logo. DMV got the though. I'm gonna keep it real. Like the DMV music scene is like that shit is the most eclectic shit that I've like. The artists that come out of the DMV just got like a different. I mean, just Virginia alone with the production, just from like, you know, Timberland, Neptunes, and Bank and Knots, and it's like so much like some different shit because y'all like not in the South, but y'all Southern, but you're not in the East Coast, so you get this like different type of like bop. I don't know, that shit like different. Like
you ever heard of Bad Brains?
yeah, Bad Brains, of course, DC.
Okay, just making sure.
Oh
And
yeah,
then, and another thing I'd want to tell you when you was talking about new music, I forgot. Are you hip to Chica?
Chica, I'm not.
Okay, I swear to God, Slim is like a mix of Big Crit and Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, I'm gonna
She,
check that out.
her tiny desk is like one of the best things I've ever heard in my
Oh,
life.
Chica. Oh, you mean she kind of like heavy set show who rhyme? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she's nice as hell. She's super nice. I used to
yeah,
listen to her freestyles on Instagram. She's super dope. Shorty dope as hell. She can rap better than niggas. It's like she's nice.
yeah.
I'm into girl rap. Like a lot of people I'm into the girls, like I'm with it because it's like that perspective been missing for so long. Like, you know, it's like spotty, but now it's like an abundance, you know, like of girls just coming out kind of owning their vibe. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of with that. Like, and the girls I feel like got better shows and shit. They like more organized. You know what I'm saying? Like our show level in hip hop right now is like it's terrible. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm a fan of a lot of rappers and I just don't go to their shows and I'm like, yo, y'all need like to rehearse or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But the girls, they got dancers, they got all type of shit. Like they shit like salt and pepper every time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I've been going to I still go to open mics. Like I pop up on the low and like in my city and go watch. And every time girl rappers hit the stage, they got they shit together. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll be looking at the homies and they just up there yelling and shit. I'm like, dang, y'all gotta get y'all, you know what I'm saying? Get y'all show together and shit.
Nah, man, you ain't never lie. I basically stopped even covering concerts because you gotta wait like 8 hours before you do the interview, and then 95% of the time the show is boring. I ain't gonna say nothing, but there was a Dipset member, and I swear to God, this band just sat on the speaker and let the song play,
Harlem,
let the songs play.
real Harlem shit.
Yeah,
I love Dipset, nigga. I
oh me,
posted the Cam
oh,
shit yesterday.
you did what yesterday?
I posted this clip in this Cam interview. I'll be posting like little things Cam be saying when I need to like get something out that I can't say. I'll just let Cam say it for me.
Shit, I heard that shit. I got a picture of him on the Bill O'Reilly show. Shit, I got the jersey he wore in the About It 3 video. I'm like the biggest Dipset head you'll ever come across.
That's crazy.
I got 7 CD books over there. Like cats like Richmond Rab. I got like physical copies of his mixtapes I went down to get.
Wow.
Like
Yo,
De Niro from Skull
if I
Gang.
come across you, I'm gonna come pop up on you. Go look at all that vibe. Go through it.
Hey, and anytime you're always welcome, brother.
Appreciate it.
I ain't gonna take up too much more of your time. We talked about what you got coming out, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna ask you some. There's not a lot out there about you biographically. So is there anything interesting about you that I haven't touched on? I know that's kind of a pretentious question for you to answer. Like, oh yeah, I'm so interesting about this.
No. I mean, I'm right now in my life, like, I'm just kind of like working with new producers and writers too. Like I'm big on like giving, giving information
Yeah,
that I get. And
I
I've
can
been in
tell.
it since I was like 18. I've been in the game my whole life, being around music. And, I've been in the, music business. I always counted that when I got my first check, I was 18. So it's like now I'm just like, I started a publishing company, Big Tune Music, and I signed a bunch of writers, producers, and I got, the label. So I've been like building my small, independent writers and stuff. They're doing well. I mean, I got a JV with Prescription Songs, but with my label, I'm just kind of getting it off the ground, starting with So, and just want to sign some bands and different things and just crank out some production. So right now I've been focused on that, finishing my stuff and like kind of giving these gems away to other people. And yeah, that's it kind of.
What's the last movie or series you watched? Squid Game.
The last Squid Game is one of them. But I was flying to, I mean, I'll be watching corny shit too. I was flying to LA and I watched that. I'm a corny nigga. Like I'll be watching like anytime The Rock puts out a movie, I feel like I'm all the way from Tarantino and Scorsese all the way to, I gotta watch a new Adam Sandler movie. Chris Farley's like one of my idols. So it's like anything like that, heartwarming, you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta watch like The Cobbler if I need to. I watch the Jungle Ride movie of The Rock on the plane. Like I'm always gonna click something either super sophisticated or super brainless, just fun, corny shit like The Mummy or a Brendan Fraser movie or some weird shit. So I'm like, that's kind of like my shit. But I watch like Lovecraft Country. I try to keep up on like things that are new and like fresh and shit like that. Or sometimes I'll wait till everybody, like the new Sopranos thing is out and I haven't watched it yet. Everybody keep telling me and like the BMF stuff, but I usually like to watch it when it died down a little bit so everybody get the spoilers out and all that bullshit.
I can dig it. The Sopranos was good. I ain't see BMF. Man, Lovecraft Country was exceptional. Did you see The Watchmen?
I didn't see The Watchmen. You like the second person, I think, said that to me the other day.
If you like Lovecraft Country, The Watchmen is fan-fucking-tastic. The Watchmen is one of the best superhero properties I've ever seen.
Yeah, I need to see that. I watched Them, this other one that's kind of like a Jordan Peele-ish.
Yeah, I watched them.
Yeah,
is Them the movie or is that the joint where they move into Compton?
They move into Compton. I like that one. That was dope. I'm into the black science fiction shit going. I like that. But yeah, I've been that's it. I love TV though. I love
Hey, tell
movies.
me this. Am I racist for this? I couldn't help it. When she said cat in the bag, I laughed.
Or what the cat when in them?
Yeah, and I know it's fucked up because she was killed. I didn't realize what was happening at first, but when she
Yeah,
the way she was sounding, cat in the bag, cat in the bag.
yeah,
But
nah,
then
that
when I
ain't
realized what the fuck she was doing, I stopped laughing. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Nah, hell no, that ain't racist. Racism is funny, man. So it's such an ignorant thing. It's just sometimes you gotta laugh at it. You know, I ain't like super emotional about a lot of shit because I understand that like a lot of it is just brainwash. So you can't be emotional about brainwash. People are people. Sure, there's a system and all that shit in place for bullshit, but at the end of the day, everybody dies, you know what I'm saying? And everybody like lives and people bleed and like, you know, even when you look at like the you know, I was raised Rasta, you know, and when you look at the Pan American flag, it starts with red, you know, so it's blood, you know, we all from the same. So it's like I don't, you know, I love people. And sure, I'm like, you know, I fuck with like, you know, a lot of black movies and shit, but I love people, bro. At the end of the day, it's shit people, man. We all got fucked up
Me
shit going
too.
on.
I'm gonna get accused of being repetitive, but I'm gonna say this shit as much as possible. I feel the greatest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing poor people that they're each other's enemies.
Exactly. When people, we all, you know, people come from the same, you from one side of y'all broke, whether you in a trailer park or the projects, like y'all both, we both broke, everybody both broke. So it's like, it don't matter anyway. That we mad at the wrong people. We got to be
Well, I
mad at
mean,
us.
it is true though in urban black communities the police are a little more dangerous, but
Absolutely.
trust me, police do fuck with poor white people in Appalachia, and it is true.
White people sell drugs. White people do the same shit. You know, it's just the system is
Exactly.
a little more lenient. This thing, you know, they don't. It might be a little more prejudice. If you black, you walk in the bank, they might ignore you a couple of times. You know, I done been through stuff. I
But
done
then
been.
people will say systemic racism doesn't exist, but I can just offer so many fucking examples
Oh yeah, 100,000 examples. But the thing,
because
but
they're still first black. Like if there
yeah,
was no racism, there would be no mention of first anything.
yeah,
Because like if you
exactly.
truly accept somebody in your community, it's not a big deal when it's the first gay person to do this or the
Yeah,
first.
or the first anybody to
I mean,
do. I mean,
remember when court? You said you were a sports fan, right? Remember
yeah,
when every black quarterback was a black quarterback, and now
yeah,
they're
yeah,
just a
yeah.
quarterback.
Now a quarterback. Yeah, it wouldn't
That's where
matter.
we got to get everything. Sometimes I think them labels
Of course, they do that on purpose, so
yeah,
everybody, you
social
know,
engineering.
yeah,
So
and
we're
then
othering each other.
so we're as we keep repeating. And you know, when you go get a job, you got to type. You know, when you get a loan or anything, you got to put what race you are down to get it anyway. So they judging you off top by the time you mark something. You know what I'm saying? So if race didn't matter, it wouldn't be like on job applications and all that shit. But that's why I try to like deprogram myself and just lead with love. You miss out on a lot of experiences with shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you miss out on great people from all over. I've traveled, you know, music has took me a lot of places, bro. And like I've seen so many different walks of life. What people, so many, I mean, poor Indian people, you know what I'm saying? Like people in India fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Like people messed up all over the world, you know, of all, you know, a lot of brown people, you know, and people just from all over the world. So like you miss out on opportunities when you lead with hate and bullshit, you know? So I try to like, you know, I just lead with love, bro. I just like, you know, until otherwise, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you know, we all homies. Fuck it. God love everybody. Fuck it.
I agree. I look at intent. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
I think it's pretty easy to see people's intent. Like if I accidentally misgender a motherfucker that's dressed in a way that my whole life I've been taught you're one thing, and I'm not trying to be mean, and then you correct me and I'm cool with it and I refer to you as you want,
Yeah.
then that should be all there is to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
teachable moments. Some people
yeah.
really are different. You know, people grow up in different parts of the world in different parts of the country. You know, people ain't used to. So, you know, I always feel like even with, you know, I've had at times where people from certain places have said things and we became cool after or from a teaching moment, like putting them on to like, yo, this ain't, you know, you gotta be da da da, and then they learn and now we friends, you know. So
Yeah,
it's like,
because you're willing to embrace their culture instead of saying
yeah,
fuck it, I'm gonna do me.
course, even with Asians, with blacks, with white people, with you know Indian people, the way you know people from all over, everybody was conditioned and raised different. So if we not quick to demonize, you know, then you could kind of like learn something. And that person, you know, I get taught every day. You know what I'm saying? I was in Colombia for 12 days, enjoying they, you know, out there working and vibing up with them over there, and it was just beautiful people, man.
Did you go out like gunplay?
No, I ain't go out like GP. Gunplay my dog too. Gunplay a different. He's a special individual. I ain't get into that. I don't judge nobody who enjoy themselves either. I was just smoking bud. I took some bud with me because the weed out there ain't too, it ain't too up to par. But
Yeah, why would they
I
care?
they don't give a fuck. They got all type of other shit going. That ain't the main source of, you feel me?
Yeah.
So, but I had good times there and moving around and shit. So I'm an experienced type of dude, bro. I like to get with people and experience their shit, and I don't want to miss out on nothing, especially with food, with people and shit. So I ain't gonna can't let these forces stop that,
Man, I love Meghan Trainor, and I'm so glad I just didn't do an interview with you where I didn't do nothing but ask you a bunch of questions about other people.
Dude, I love Meghan. Meghan, that's my family. Meghan is solid as like anytime I've ever hit Meghan for something, she came through for me. She was a fan of my music, and I worked on like 5 songs on her second album, co-wrote, and she's still I love her pops, her moms. They're just good people, you know what I'm saying? And anytime even with Ocean, we put Ocean out earlier this year. And like I had that written for a while, and I hit her, and she always hit me right. Yo, I love that. Let's do it. So like you solid. She's solid as hell. People don't really know Meghan like a real one. You know what I'm saying? Like Meghan like a real talented ass writer, producer. She's like just like an ill person. That's my dog. That's my
and thanks to you, we got to get her on the top Southern gangster rap website in history.
Exactly. I know that's what I was saying. Like, I'm bringing it. That's that connection, bringing people into different audiences, like, and even like her and Gotti worked before and shit, like, so Meghan is about the, people. She's just a good person and shit. That's my dog.
All right. So I want to finish with, 3 things. We're going to do your socials and all that, but 2 things. Tell me the best book you ever read in your life, and one good saying. A good saying, Confucius say, man who stand on toilet high on pot. But something a little deeper than that.
The best book I ever read in my life, it's fun. It's kind of a common book, but I like Dale Carnegie books and shit, like How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Hey, things are popular typically because they're good. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, the How to Win Friends and Influence People. That was I love that one. I like I'm into I read this what's the name? Langston Hughes biography that I had, and also like a Langston Hughes poetry capsule book that I had that I always go back to, like even writing. It's like a large Langston Hughes, and I always go back and like read all of his poetry and his writing, because I love Langston. And then you said, and a saying?
Yeah. Or words of wisdom, anything.
Bro, I've heard so much. I've had so many.
I know I should have told you beforehand. You would have one ready.
Yeah, I got so many of those gems that I just hear that has changed my life. Like, my pops has said so much inspiring shit to me growing up. Like one word is, and my mom. Just it's hard to think of one off the top of my head.
You'll never lose love chasing money, but you'll lose money chasing love.
Things like that, all them type of like. But I've had some real powerful people in the music industry tell me shit too, music quotes and shit that I love. Well, I say this to up and coming songwriters. If you write songs, or anybody who does music, you gotta, know your voice. I always tell people, like, if you're a good writer, find somebody with a good voice to sing your songs. And if you're a good singer, find somebody with a good pen to write for you. So I always tell songwriters that, because sometimes what we happen in a lot is like people don't know, what they're good at. And when you're good, if and some people got power in their voice and not in their pen. And some people's power is in their pen and not in their voice. So if your power is in your pen, find some people find the voice that gets your message out. And if you got a good voice, find the person that writes the message you want to sing. That's what I always try to, tell people who are in music. Man, and find your truth. Find your truth. Be honest. I feel like I found my truth. When I did Bills, I found my truth. Sometimes your music ain't connecting because you're not telling the truth. So just tell the truth, and you'll find a bunch of people who agree with you.
And you exceeded expectations for that question. I know it's Lunchy Baby on Instagram, LunchieBaby.
Yeah,
what's your other socials?
Well, I got Twitter, LunchMoney Lewis. But yeah, I'm always on Instagram. You can find me there. Even though I'm not posting, I'm always checking up on stuff. And
of course, Apple Music, Spotify,
yeah,
all
Apple Music,
DSPs.
Spotify, Lunch Money Music. Check out Lil Soso, everything too. You know, Lil Soso Dawn on Instagram. You know, we got her song coming out on the 3rd. You know, my new single dropping on the 1st. Just follow everything Lunchbox Records, man. This shit, we just, you know, trying to provide some good energy. That's it.
Okay, I see y'all going into the new year strong. That's what's up. Well, thank you for your time, brother. I truly appreciate it. And I was already a fan of like the rap music, but now I'm a fan of all the music. It was so enjoyable to me to find like 20 new songs from somebody whose music I already loved. So this has been an absolute honor and a pleasure.
Mark, I appreciate it, bro. You know, keep doing what you're doing. You know, I'm around, man. I ain't going too far.
All right, well, man, we'll stay in touch, brother, and you have a good night.
You too.
All right, man, take it light.
All right, my boy. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.